mynews.studio.
Imagine 2,000 southern white rhinos thundering back into wild Africa. Could releasing a group that size actually change the continent itself?
Today's date is November 6th, 2025. Let's start with the basics. 2,000 southern white rhinos. So that's about 12 to 15% of Africa's total population are being reintroduced across several protected areas. This is the biggest rewilding project ever for a species this large. So why is this happening now? And what's at stake?
It all started with a crisis. Last year, the world's largest southern white rhino breeding center nearly went bankrupt. African Parks, which is a conservation NGO, stepped in. They bought the entire operation, land, equipment, and every single one of those 2,000 rhinos. Instead of letting the animals get auctioned off or risk being poached, they decided to commit to rewilding them gradually over 10 years.
If we look back, southern white rhinos were nearly extinct a century ago. There were fewer than 50 left. After decades of protection, their numbers grew to about 20,000 in 2010. But since then, poaching has cut that by half. What makes these rhinos so especially at risk?
It comes down to their horns. The demand from illegal markets drives relentless poaching, and that's pushed the species into a genetic bottleneck. Their future now depends on spreading out, rebuilding wild herds, and keeping them safe. So African Parks came up with a 3-step strategy: rescue, rewild, and renew.
Let's go through those steps. First, rescue. African Parks took over the breeding center, stabilized the population, and did thorough health checks. Many animals had health issues due to years of underfunding. That meant strict vet care had to be put in place. Now, the rewild phase, what does that actually look like?
That's really the centerpiece. Each year, up to 300 rhinos are moved to various protected areas across Africa. But they're not just dropping them off randomly. The idea is to create metapopulations.
Sorry, metapopulations. Can you explain that?
Right, so metapopulations are groups that can interact and interbreed. Mixing genes this way makes the entire species more resilient. And it's important not just for rhinos, but for the whole ecosystem. Do you want to know why?
Definitely. Rhinos are what's called mega-herbivores. Their grazing patterns shape grasslands, help cycle nutrients, and even contribute to carbon storage. Their presence benefits many other species. But just letting them loose isn't enough. What kind of protection is in place?
African Parks uses a layered approach. They have ranger patrols, anti-poaching teams, and they fit each rhino with GPS and radio collars. That way, they can monitor health, track movement, and observe social behavior. Moving them is risky. There are challenges like predators and fitting in with new groups. But African Parks adapts their methods each time to reduce losses.
There's also the human side. In many places where African Parks works, they're actually the biggest employer around. They invest in local schools, health clinics, and businesses, making sure local people benefit directly from conservation efforts. That's key for reducing poaching. Is that approach showing results so far?
So far, the signs are good. Communities are seeing real benefits: jobs, better infrastructure, and increased tourism revenue. That support from local people is essential if this is going to work in the long run. And this isn't only about rhinos. It's a test run for bringing back other endangered species and repairing damaged ecosystems.
If this succeeds, could it serve as a template for conservation elsewhere? Maybe the big questions are, how will these 2,000 rhinos adapt? How will the ecosystems respond? And can people stay committed?
Can we actually reverse species decline through large-scale teamwork between governments, private organizations, and local communities? Is there a point where ecosystem restoration just isn't possible anymore? And what would real success look like? Just more rhinos, or healthier landscapes and healthier people too?
This isn't just an African story. With biodiversity dropping everywhere, it shows that extinction isn't a given. If we work together and invest enough, species can rebound and ecosystems can recover. Still, it's a long road, and nothing is guaranteed.
2,000 rhinos are taking a big step into the unknown. And in a way, so are we. The real test is whether we keep learning, adapting, and investing in the planet's living systems.
That's really what it all comes down to. Thanks for joining us as we explored the largest rhino rewilding project ever, what it means for Africa and for everyone else too.
Thank you for listening. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. Give it a try for free.